Hi, this is Steph with Belladonna Dyes, and today's project is going to be a cinch waist dress. Today's entire project is based off my brand new Sinew puller. It's a no-roll puller from Boredom with Jen. She has a new website, www.boredomwithjen.com. So if you're interested in getting a Sinew puller and matching caddy set, Google boredomwithjen.com. So these Sinew pullers don't roll, and Jen calls it the no roll puller, but when I refer to it as my hexagon puller because I have other pullers. Now, I did not get a matching caddy set with this because I already have caddies, and I'm demonstrating for you guys in my original caddy. She now has two different size caddies and has made some improvements along the way. Like with anything, we learn as we go. So that took me less than 1 minute to fill up that Sinew puller, and we're right on to the project. So for this one, it's basically going to be a geode tie, and I'm going to get started on a few of my wraps, and then I'm going to speed it way up, and I'm also going to edit out a lot of the tying because I'm just going to do the same thing for the entire project. If you're brand new to tie-dyeing and wonder what Sinew is a wax-covered string that resists the dye, and it will create white lines in the project. And for this project, I'm seeking to have those white lines. So you want to wrap it around 2 or 3 times and pull it really tight, and then you want to wrap it around 2 or 3 more times and pull it even tighter. And the wider you make the Sinew line, the more white space you're going to have. Wider and wider sound the same. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. So the more you wrap it, the more white you're going to have. And like I said, I'm just going to do this all the way down the entire project. For this Sinew line, it wasn't wrapped on top of itself, so I had to unwrap it and do it again. That's one thing when you're working with the Sinew. If you're trying to create those white lines, you want to make sure that it lays flat on top of itself. That way the white line is a nice straight white line. I'm using Goyo's Garden and Tie-Dye, Greg, his method for making geodes. It's just a really organic and, for lack of a better word to use, kind of a sloppy way of doing things. But I'm really glad that I've learned this from watching him because I like the organicness of it. It's not such a bullseye type look, and it's really easy to do. So if you haven't already checked out his channel, head over to Goyo's Garden and Tie-Dye and check out his channel, and please subscribe. I'm still on a mission to get him to 1,000 subscribers, and I have almost 19,000 of you, so we just need like 300 more of you to just go over there and click subscribe. And then once he hits 1,000, I'm going to do a giveaway for him, and once I hit 20,000, I'm going to do a special giveaway for my channel as well. So I decided after I had it all tied up that I wanted to add more of the Sinew ties. So I'm just going now and going in between each of the original Sinew ties and making another tie. I wanted this to have a lot more of the white lines. Real quick before I forget, many of you may have gotten this cinch waist dress from Old Navy. I am noticing a lot of size discrepancy in these items. So the last dress that I made said it was a size medium, and then this one today says it's a size small, and this dress ended up being like not twice the size because that would be too extreme, but I would say probably a good 3 inches difference in the hem length. And so I held up the last dress up against an extra small and they match perfectly. So if you guys have this dress and you got multiple sizes like I did, before you put them up on your Etsy or on your website, check to make sure that they're actually the correct size. A lot of mine are mislabeled. Now, to save on space, I'm just gonna sort of roll this up like a cinnamon roll, and I'm gonna use a rubber band just to hold it all together. And for this one, I'm going to rack dye it. And I'm going to place my rack down on top of one of the foil pans from the dollar store. They leak, you guys, so you must put your entire setup inside of a plastic bin to catch all the melting ice. For the ice barrier, I'm using silicone cake molds that I got from Amazon, and I do have links for them down below in the description box, along with everything else that I use for tie-dye, so go ahead and check that out. And I'm just simply securing it with a paper clip because the silicone cake molds were just a little bit too big for the project. Now it's time for the fun part, and my favorite part. We get to add the dye. And for this one, I'm doing the dye under ice method. So when you're in the Facebook group and you see the abbreviation DUI, that stands for dye under ice, which means I'm adding the dye directly to the project and I'm going to be putting the ice on top, hence dye under ice. And I'm just adding it in a repeating pattern. So I decided how many colors that I have, and I'm just counting out and following it around the cinnamon roll. Next, give your project a quick little sprinkle of soda ash for good measure and add your ice. And I like to fill up the cake molds. And then it's recommended that you let your project batch for at least 24 hours at 70 degrees or higher after the ice melts. I put the lid on my tote and I took this project outside and I let it bake in the sun for 48 hours. Probably not necessary, but it's my process and what I like to do. So you batch it however long you want to do it. So now it's time for the rinse out, and I swear untying these seems to take as long as tying them up. And I was on TikTok, and I'm pretty sure her channel name is Rad Habit Tie-Dyes. I think that's what it is. Anyways, she doesn't rinse her projects before she unties them. So I thought I would give that a try to conserve on water. And so I didn't rinse this before I untied it, and I can tell you I had zero issue. And I'm going to maybe start doing that. Untie it first, then the rinse out. So you want to start by using cold water to rinse away any soda ash that might still be reacting within the fabric. Increase your water up to hot and rinse until the water runs pretty much clear. From here, I take it to the washing machine and I do hot water cycles using Curalon. That's a professional textile detergent. And then I like to do a final hot water cycle using Milsoft, which is a professional fabric softener. And I get both Curalon and Milsoft from Dharma Trading Company. Then I'll dry it and I'll iron it and we'll come back and we'll see the results. Well, here it is, guys. Here's our cinch waist dress after it's been washed and dried and ironed, and I think it turned out fantastic. Now Bella is wearing it outdoors in the natural light, and this is really what it looks like, and it's beautiful. I love this color combination, and it does look just like the Sinew puller, and I'm excited to show Jen and curious to see what she thinks about it. There are some areas where the dye crept up underneath the Sinew, creating like really beautiful blue lines, and I love it. So overall, I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I enjoy these jewel tones. My eyes are just always drawn to this type of a color palette. The earth tones and stuff, those are also very beautiful, but I like the really bright and dynamic colors. So overall, I love this dress, and again, if you guys also got this same type dress, check your sizes, just make sure that they're correct. So what do you guys think? Please leave me some comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up, and click the bell and set it to all. That way you get notified of future uploads. And remember, have fun tie-dyeing!